Good evening, friends. Jai Hind. I'm Major Mohammed Ali Shah, and it's my proud privilege and honor to have someone very, very illustrious on the show who we all say, in fact, as an authority to the Northeast affairs. He knows the entire Northeast of India back of his hands. He's had several tenures in the Northeast, particularly Manipur, Nagaland, I would say, and he's been the chairman ceasefire monitoring group in Nagaland. He has been instrumental in calling the ceasefire with the NSCN Khaplang, NSCN K group. In fact, then Khango, in fact, the self-styled General Khango, who was the second in command of the NSCN K in 2015, General Shokin Chauhan, after there was a very famous ambush we all know of the 6th Dogra Battalion in 2015 when we lost 18 of our brave hearts. And General Shokin Chauhan was instrumental in coordinating that ceasefire. We will speak to him subsequently on that conversation as well. But first, we need to congratulate him. He's recently been honored and conferred upon as a Field Marshal Cariappa's Chair of Excellence by the USI. We would ask him about that as well. So I hope you would be able to talk about that slightly. But before that, we want to talk about also the beauty of Manipur, the beauty of Northeast, and I have a very interesting and question coming up for you, sir, which is there in my mind. It was going to be a surprise for you, which I don't think anyone has asked that till now to anyone on the show. But before that, let's come ahead and if you could share a bit about the honor you've received from USI recently, sir.
Good evening, Major Ali. It's always a pleasure to be with you. I watch your shows often. They are full of energy, full of knowledge, and you are able to, more than anything else, you are able to bring in people with different thoughts, different perceptions, and bring them to your show. So I must congratulate you on an excellent choice of people that you've been able to bring in your show, as well as give us much more knowledge about what the people really feel. Recently, the United Service Institutes in Delhi, which is uh, a think tank of the United Services, all three services, uh, conferred the Field Marshal K.M. Karyapa Chair of Excellence in me. Mainly, it's a Chair of Excellence for 2 years, and it is given to study uh, about the Northeast and to, of course, study further into the Northeast and to come up with solutions to bring about peace, normalcy, and economic, yeah, and hopefully an economic leveraging for the Northeast. And it's a difficult job because there's so much now being written about Manipur and the Northeast. But I'm hoping that I will be able to do justice to this.
That's
Thank you so
amazing,
much
sir.
for
So
mentioning
that's
this.
because also you follow the development and the affairs of the northeast part of India. They're very close to your heart, I know, and you
Yeah,
follow them very, very closely. So you deserve this honor, sir.
thank you.
Sir,
Thank you.
sir. Sir, I have a very unusual question for you. In fact, unusual I say because so far this question I don't think it has been asked by any anchor on any show. Sir, we often hear, this is to educate people who are not familiar with the northeast part of India. And this is, so we often hear about the chin cookie groups. Now, people earlier they did not know what the cookie tribe is. Now, at least thankfully, people know at least. But now, I wish it was for a happy and a better reason. That's a different thing. But sir, the chin cookie groups, people often say that they have an association with Myanmar. So, what is the connection between the chin cookie groups and with Myanmar, if at all?
Ali, first of all, I must sort of clarify one thing here that 99% of the tribes that have now settled in what we call India are actually people who have migrated in the migrations over the last 3,000 years from different parts of Burma. The Ahoms, the Kukis, the Nagas, all of them, and the Mizo people or the Chinzo people have all come from Burma at one time or the other. Between 1782 and 1812, the kingdom of Manipur had been actually overrun by the Burmese Empire. And it is only once the king of Manipur went to the British colonial power, at that time the East India Company, and requested them to come and free them from the yoke of the Burmese Empire, did the situation change through the three Anglo-Burma wars starting from 1812 and ending in 1868. So during this period of occupation, during this period when there was no real line on the sand, no real line on the ground, all these tribal people migrated. The Ahoms came almost 2000 years ago. So also were the were all the tribes that have now settled, the Nagas in different times have migrated from there. I remember asking the chief minister of Manipur when I was the DG Assam Rifles of not Manipur but the chief minister of Mizoram, Mr. Lal Thanawala, about his association with the chains of with Myanmar, and he said, General Chauhan, the chains are my brothers and sisters. Our sacred forests, the sacred rocks, all our sacred places are in the chain state of what is now Myanmar. Please don't ask me to stop helping the chain people. I can't, and I can't tell my people not to help. And therefore, today, during the time when you have this Myanmar army martial law and the battle that is ongoing against the Chin state and various insurgent groups, there are almost 35,000 Chins who have taken refuge in Mizoram. The Chins are belong to a larger tribe called the Chinzo people, who are also the Kuki people. So that's how the relationship is. The Mizo people are in reality the Chin people, and Zo was a name given to them by the early British missionaries. So the people who came inside India became the Zo people, and the people who stayed behind were the Kukis or the Chins. So it's a very close relationship, and as you're aware, Ali, that tribes tend to take their association with each other much more deeply and much more personally than other people do, because to them, these tribes are their identity, they're their cultural brothers, and there is no power on earth that can stop them from interacting with each other. How does this work out for our for the problem that we have today in Manipur? The mighty Kuki battle is also a battle ongoing in Myanmar. The mighty insurgent groups in Myanmar are supporting the Myanmar army, and the Chin insurgent groups are fighting the Myanmar army, as also the Kuki insurgent groups. So the KNF, the KY, the KLA, and a whole lot of other Kuki groups are in battle with the Myanmar army, and the mighty insurgent groups are supporting the Myanmar army here. So this, while the battle takes place inside Manipur, there is also a similar battle taking place in Myanmar. As you're aware, Ali, if you were to bring about a map of the region opposite the Burmese region, uh, opposite Manipur, opposite Nagaland, you would see that the Sagang region is the region that borders Manipur, and south of the Sagang region is the Chin state, which borders the area uh, of Mizoram. So as you go from the north to the south, you have the Sagang region, then you have the Chinwin River, and then you have the Chin state. So in this complete area, Ali, you have a larger population of the cookies. And therefore, the cookies will always get support here. So my view is that if we don't sort this problem out with the cookies, you will never be able to subdue them. The cookies are in Myanmar, they are in the northeastern region of India. The state of Mizoram is entirely a part of that tribe. They're also in the Chittagong Hill Tracts. They're also in the Chin state. They're also in the Sagang region. And they are very populous tribe. Today, with our relations being with China being what they are, it is important for us to understand that China can take advantage of this problem. And if China decides to come through Myanmar into India, this is India's soft underbelly. If you were to extrapolate the Second World War Burma campaign and see the direction from where the Japanese came into India through the Chaiman River, through the through through Burma, they first captured Rangoon and they came in from the west. And as they came in from the west and captured Rangoon, made it their base, and once from Rangoon, they decided to move further towards India. That is the same direction that PLA can take. And the states that are bordering India are that of the Chin people, which will definitely support the PLA in case we don't get our act together. So it is important, Ali, that though the situation in Manipur may have gone off the news, it is important for us to understand the danger that exists and the importance we must give to this because it is in many ways our soft underbelly.
That is very true. That's very true. So
I
your
hate I
in-depth
hate to
knowledge.
be an alarmist, Ali,
No, sir.
but having read history and knowing that history always repeats itself for those who don't learn it, these are
That is
lessons
very.
of history. These are lessons from history. The terrain
That,
is more accessible from the other side. We have also helped build the Stillwell Road, so the PLA could well take advantage, and given their relationship with the Burmese army, could well take advantage and come through. It is a very
sir.
real possibility, and we would
Yes,
find
sir.
it very difficult to defend this part.
Sir. You are so right, sir. So that's why, sir, that is the reason why, your in depth knowledge and understanding about that entire Northeast region is so admirable, sir. And my interest in, particularly in the Northeast part of India. It is something which I really am, it fascinates me, sir, to another level altogether. So, since I have had the opportunity of getting you on the show, I would be not be doing justice to my own self and to our viewers if I do not ask you in 2015, there was a very infamous, I would say, attack on our bravehearts of the 6th Dogra Battalion in Manipur. And we lost 18 of our bravehearts over there. It was a very bad ambush that had happened. And after that, sir, later on, you were instrumental, rather, I would say not instrumental, I would say you spearheaded ceasefire with the NSCNK and the Indian government. Could you tell us a bit about that, sir?
So, what in 2015, after the Khaplang group, headed by Khaplang, ambushed 6 Dogras, they also broke the ceasefire and they went into the jungles of Myanmar. And they became it. After all, the NSC and Khaplang group was at one time much larger than the NSC and IM group. And it is from the NSC and Khaplang group that actually the IM was created by Isaac Chisichu and Muiwa, Thankulang Muiwa. And then they became at war with each other. But the Khaplang group was the mother group, made up of mainly Konyaks who occupy both sides of the Konyak region in the area of Mon and opposite in Myanmar.
Ginseng and Sa.
Kyungsang Mon and the area opposite in Myanmar. So after Khaplang died, General Khango, his second in command, was made the head of the NSC and Khaplang group, and it was located in the jungles of Myanmar. But at the same time, we came to know that Khaplang's nephew, Mong Mong, who was actually in Manipur, he's a half Manipuri, he was making an attempt to control the NSC and Khaplang group. And we were able to contact Khango. We talked to him. He's 80 years old and now about 82, 83. But we convinced the old man to come and I convinced him to come and meet me. And we did meet many times. And when I asked him, I said, Khango, what are you fighting? What do you want now? He said, I want to unite my Konyak people. They're on both sides of the border. And it's extremely difficult for me to come at peace with India because it divides the Konyak people. So that story in itself has a parable. You can't divide these people. They take their culture and their identity extremely seriously. I was able to convince Khango through many conversations to break the NSC and Khaplang group and to bring the Indian Konyaks back into India and to sign a ceasefire with us. That in itself ensured lasting peace in this region. The NSC and Khaplang group exists in Myanmar, but it is a shadow of its old self and have been largely ineffective in doing anything in that region. So I would say that is a very successful issue, and I'm extremely proud of my contribution to that. But the complexities of situations in Manipur, of Nagaland, and I must tell you, Ali, that Manipur cannot be sorted out without Nagaland. And the situation in Nagaland cannot be sorted out without sorting out Manipur. And both can't be sorted out till we also sort out the problems in Myanmar. And if we wait for long, Nagaland, Manipur, South Arunachal, and Mizoram will get engulfed in this problem. So we can't let this problem be, we can't give it a cold shoulder. We have to take all attempts to try and bring peace here. I'm sorry, I'm an alarmist in this case, but it is important for me to make people understand that the larger geopolitical situation at play is
Very true.
very very difficult, and it can escalate. I have seen situations in the northeast escalate almost overnight because the simmering intertribal
Very true, sir.
rivalries can takes totally different here. I would urge people to look at this seriously. We have a
Yes, sir.
soft underbelly, we have a great vulnerability, and we must take urgent care to solve this vulnerability.
I totally agree with you, Sam. I'm on the same page with you. And so, on that note, I really wish from the bottom of my heart for peace to prevail in Manipur and from all sides and all communities and all regions, all villages, everywhere. So, thank you so much for your time. It's really great education speaking to you and hearing you each time I hear you,
Thank you.
sir. Always there's a lot to learn. Thank you very
Thank you.
much, sir.
Thank you.
Jai Hind, sir.
Jai Hind.